Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tracking down an elusive, highly contagious, and honestly pretty dangerous microscopic villain. We're talking about a bacteria known as Shigella, which causes an illness called Shigellosis. Now, if you haven't heard of it, you really need to, because it's actually one of the leading causes of diarrheal disease worldwide. It completely thrives in the shadows of our daily routines, and, here's the terrifying part, it's actively learning how to fight back against our best medicines.
Here's the roadmap for today. 1. The invisible invader. 2. Inside the infection. 3. The superbug threat. And finally, 4. Stopping the spread. Let's get right into it.
All right, Part 1. The invisible invader. Unmasking the bacteria. Let's define exactly what we're up against here.
Listen, Shigellosis is absolutely not your run-of-the-mill stomach bug. It's a highly contagious bacterial infection that specifically targets and massively inflames the intestines. And while it can strike literally anyone of any age, it is especially dangerous for vulnerable young children under 5. This is especially true in areas around the world that struggle with limited sanitation infrastructure.
This microscopic gang is basically made up of 4 major species: Shigella sani, Shigella flexneri, Shigella boydii, and Shigella dysenteriae. But honestly, whichever species is involved, the playbook is exactly the same. They invade the delicate lining of your large intestine, set up camp, and cause intense, painful inflammation. But how do they actually get in there in the first place?
While they rely on something called the fecal-oral route. Yeah, I know, it sounds awful, but it is exactly what it sounds like. The bacteria spread when microscopic, completely invisible amounts of infected stool somehow make their way into another person's mouth. It's the ultimate biological hitchhiker, just moving directly or indirectly from one host to the very next.
And because it's microscopic, its transmission pathways are incredibly common. We're talking poor hand hygiene after using the toilet or changing a diaper. We're looking at contaminated food or drinking water. It spreads through direct contact with an infected person, by touching contaminated surfaces, or even just swallowing recreational water, like in a pool or a lake that's been contaminated. This invisible threat is hovering right around our normal daily routines, especially in crowded places like childcare centers.
But here is the truly wild part about this pathogen: its sheer stealth. Unlike some bugs that require a massive bacterial load to actually make you sick, Shigella is incredibly efficient. It only takes a remarkably small number of these bacteria to spark a massive outbreak, particularly in crowded environments or areas with inadequate sanitation. Moving on to Part 2, inside the infection, the biological attack. Let's look at how this builds once the bacteria actually breaches the body's defenses. So, imagine you're exposed to Shigella on day 0. The clock starts ticking immediately. It takes about 1 to 2 days for the bacteria to multiply and inflame your intestinal lining enough for the symptoms to hit, though sometimes it can take just a bit longer. For most patients, this biological attack will run its course, and the illness will last about 5 to 7 agonizing days.
And man, during that week, the symptoms are incredibly visceral. Patients suffer from diarrhea, which can be watery or frankly bloody. There are severe abdominal cramps, a spiking fever, nausea, and intense malaise, just general overwhelming weakness. But there's also a very specific, distressing symptom called tenesmus. Now, tenesmus is this persistent, really uncomfortable feeling of needing to pass stool, even when your bowels are completely empty. It's a direct result of that intense inflammation happening in the gut.
Now, for a lot of folks, that miserable week is the end of it. But, and this is a big but, things can escalate fast, which is why doctors treat this so seriously. The relentless diarrhea can lead to severe dehydration and dangerous electrolyte imbalances. In young kids, the high fever can actually trigger seizures. Beyond that, some people develop reactive arthritis, and in highly vulnerable patients, the bacteria can escape the gut entirely and cause a deadly bloodstream infection.
So who's really in the crosshairs for these severe complications? It's our highest risk populations: young children, older adults, anyone with a weakened immune system, and malnourished populations. This is exactly why paying attention to this disease matters so much. It literally preys on the most vulnerable among us.
Which brings us to Part 3, the superbug threat, the antimicrobial twist. Because while this bacteria is already a massive danger on its own, we're now facing a terrifying plot twist in how it responds to modern medicine.
We are seeing a severe escalation in the threat level. Look, a standard Shigella infection often resolves with basic supportive care, rest, and a ton of hydration. But a resistant Shigella infection, that requires complex, laboratory-guided antibiotic treatment to even stand a chance.
This is the superbug threat. We are witnessing a rapid rise in antimicrobial resistance. Drug-resistant and even extensively drug-resistant strains of Shigella have been reported in multiple regions around the world. The bug is literally learning to fight back. It's mutating so that it no longer responds to the commonly used antibiotics we've relied on for decades. This makes treatment significantly harder and raises the stakes of every single outbreak. And because of this resistance, healthcare providers can't just guess which antibiotic will work anymore. They're fighting back with a complex diagnostic arsenal. It starts with a clinical evaluation, sure, but it rapidly moves to the lab. They use stool cultures, advanced molecular diagnostic tests like PCR to actually identify the DNA of the bacteria, and crucial antimicrobial susceptibility testing. They literally have to test the specific bacteria against different drugs in the lab just to find a therapy that will actually be effective.
All right, final section. Part 4, stopping the spread, the counteroffensive. With treatment becoming so complex, the absolute best medicine is just not getting sick in the first place.
I know it sounds incredibly basic, but rigorous hand hygiene is our primary epidemiological barrier here. This means non-negotiable, thorough hand washing after using the toilet, after changing diapers, before any food prep, and right before eating. Breaking the chain of transmission right at the hands, that stops the bacteria cold.
Zooming out a bit from personal hygiene, we have broader prevention strategies that protect entire communities. This means washing fruits and vegetables properly and cooking food all the way through. It means absolutely avoiding food preparation if you're experiencing diarrhea. It requires drinking safe, treated water and, critically, ensuring the proper disposal of human waste with improved sewage systems and clean restroom facilities. Good sanitation shuts down that fecal-oral route completely.
Now, while prevention is our best current strategy, scientists are definitely looking to the future. Right now, there is no widely available licensed vaccine for general global use against Shigellosis. However, because of the massive disease burden and that terrifying rise of antibiotic resistance we talked about, vaccine development has become a major, urgent international research priority. Researchers are evaluating several approaches right now to lower antibiotic use and prevent these severe infections on a global scale.
Which leaves us with a pretty big question to consider today. Shigellosis is a microscopic villain that thrives exactly where our infrastructure fails. It exploits crowded conditions, poor water access, and inadequate hygiene. So as Shigella evolves on a cellular level to resist our very best medicines, is our global sanitation evolving fast enough to stop it? Thanks for exploring this with us on The Explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and hey, go wash your hands.